believe how passive they're playing.
Right? Oh, he pieced
they missed. Let's go. Push. I have bats.
Okay. What bar sparing? Oh, fuck. I'm dead.
Oh, no. I got you.
Oh, thanks.
My bats.
Okay. One bar sparing. My DB. Oh!
My fucking bats, dude!
Oh, shit.
My fucking bats, brother!
Let's go. Okay, yo, that was fucking clean.
Holy shit! No, I got you.
Oh, you god. Oh,
oh, come on, no.
kind of low on juice right now. Oh yeah, they got multiple healers now. I might have to play safe a little bit.
Yeah.
You see that healer over there?
Yeah, I do. I'm charging in.
Okay. I'm streaking.
Oh, no. Oh, bat stun. I'm good. Good thing about dude just being, ever since they added that block mitigation passive to Templar.
Oh, it's actually helping out?
Yeah, because I literally just hold block and press BOL.
Alright, let's go back in, dude.
Yeah. Oh, this is very dangerous. Yep. Purge for everybody. We got this guy that's in. Good. Somebody else push in. Groth there on the door. Oh, we can push out, I think. I have bats.
Alright, cool.
My bat's on the flag.
I'm streaking it.
I'm in their back line.
Yep, me too. Oh, he's dead. Nice. Streaking. Oh, careful.
I'm alive!
Bombard. This bow tired. My DB? Oh, he's got fucking like 60k health too.
Going for a quick heavy attack.
Okay. Careful. Nightblade on you.
Yeah, good. Charging on these guys, going in for an ult here.
Okay.
You get this bow tard in the back.
Yeah.
Good. This guy that's on me is really squishy. Got him.
Okay. What a fight, dude. Holy shit. Oh, this guy's super low. He's dead.
No fucking way did we get that, dude. Let's go! Let's go, boys! Hell yeah! What's going on, everyone? Dottz here. Hope you enjoyed that PvP footage. To kick this video off today, I'm going to be bringing you guys a Magicka Templar PvP build for the Elder Scrolls Online Harrowstorm patch. So, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you've known that I typically make builds on Stamina Templar, but after playing my Templar for a while, I was just kind of not really feeling them. I wanted to change them up and do something different, and recently I've been playing a lot more Magicka than I have been Stamina anyway, so I decided, you know what, I'm going to try my Templar out as MagPlar, and holy crap, this is some of the most fun I've had in ESO in a very long time, and this is honestly one of the quickest builds I've ever put together. I am really happy with how it came out. I instantly fell in love with the first build I put on. Gear-wise was pretty easy to work out, just had to kind of figure out how I wanted my skills, and we are sitting in a really good place, man. The build is really fun, so if you guys want a high damage, tanky MagPlar build that still has good mobility, this is going to be a really fun build for you. So we're going to, without waiting any longer, kick it right off, and we're going to be starting with our monster set, and that is going to be 2 pieces of Grothdar. So Grothdar synchronizes perfectly with Magicka Templar. So this gives us about 1100 maximum Magicka for the 1 piece. And then for the 2 piece, whenever you deal damage, you have a 10% chance to create lava pools that swirl around you, dealing 2610 flame damage to all enemies within 8 meters of you every second for 5 seconds, and this can occur once every 10 seconds. Magicka Templar's skills are pretty much all AoE. You have a lot of AoE cleave on this build, from your ultimates to your spammable. There is a lot, and having Grothdar on MagPlar just further accentuates that AoE pressure, and when you're jabbing people away, you're already going to keep them really snared, so it's going to make it easier to keep them in your Grothdar, keep them trapped in that damage, and it just adds a lot of additional pressure to your enemies. Now, our front bar 5-piece damage set is going to be spinners, 2 lines of maximum Magicka, a line of spell damage, and a big boost to your spell penetration. we have plenty of damage at a base on this build in terms of like outside pen. Like we have 39k in maximum Magicka, almost 2300 unbuffed spell damage, not including our front bar glyph or major sorcery or anything. So increasing our penetration is going to give us one of the biggest damage spikes we can possibly get out of more stats. So getting that additional penetration is going to make squishy targets basically have no armor, and tanky targets be even easier to take down from our burst. So really like spinners, one of the best offensive options you can get. And like I said, I felt that the healing was good enough with the Magicka and spell damage that we already have, so I wanted to go with pure damage on that front bar. Now, our main body 5-piece and our defensive set for the build is going to be Pariah. So it is a line of maximum health, 2 lines of armor, and about 11k physical and spell resist that scales up based on your missing health. So you get a amount at the base, so when you're at 100%, and this scales up as you get lower. Now, in my opinion, Magicka Templar is perfect with Vampirism. I think Vampirism is amazing for a MagPlar, and I'll explain why when I get to Mist form. And it just synchronizes so well with Pariah. The Undeath passive and Pariah are peanut butter and jelly. So if you look at our Vampire passives, our Undeath passive reduces your damage taken by up to 33% based on your missing health while you're below 50% HP. So as you're getting lower and Pariah is giving you more resistance, your damage taken will also be reduced by a percent modifier from Undeath. Not to mention that on our back bar, we are also running Potentates for the additional 5% reduced damage taken from players. We also have basically permanent minor protection uptime from our Aegis Spear passives while we're jabbing away. We are very tanky with all of these factors, and Pariah just enables a lot of tankiness. And I wanted to run a defensive 5-piece because I knew I wanted to run Grothdar on my monster set. And I didn't want to go full glass cannon like 2 damage sets and Grothdar. I usually try to fight outnumbered with either with a friend or alone. So I prefer to have something to give me additional tankiness on the build, and Pariah worked perfectly for that. Now, guys, going over the specifics of the build, we are actually running a 5-2. We are running 2 heavy and 5 light, which you pretty much have to do on this build in order to get spinners on your front bar. So we have... we have 3 pieces of spinners on the body, 2 Pariah, and the 2 Grothdar. It's all impen. And then you have 1, 2, 3 prismatics, Magicka glyphs on the small pieces. Now you have triple Pariah jewelry. Pariah does come in arcane, which is amazing. 1 Magicka recovery glyph, 2 spell damage glyphs. Spinners, lightning staff front bar, Nirnhoned with the weapon damage glyph. And we have Potentates SMB back bar, powered, and you would optimally want sturdy. I have reinforced here because I still need to trait change it, but I'd say sturdy would be optimal here. I think you have plenty of resistance even without reinforced, so I'd probably change this to sturdy. But if reinforced is a really good temporary option, so you can get sturdy and then drain Magicka poisons on that back bar. But yeah, like I said, we have to go with that 5-2 because we want Pariah active at all times and spinners front bar only, and the only way we're going to get that is with 2 Pariah body pieces. So thankfully you're able to do that with 2 light Grothdar and then the 3 light spinners. Pariah you want on the chest, and then either the belt, or the pants or the boots. You do not want it on your gloves and your belt because you want to get the optimal amount of armor. And like I said, the front bar is a lightning staff since we are all about that AoE damage. Now moving into our skills, guys, we have Puncturing Sweep, the Templar Jabby Jab. This is what tilts the hell out of people. So the spear deals 35, 36 magic damage to all closest enemies, and 1358 to all others. And then this will reduce the closest target's movement speed by 40%, and you heal for 42% of the amount of this damage done. So while you're just jabbing away, going in on your spammable, you will be actively healing yourself. And that's one of the great things about the Templar burst, is that while you're bursting your target, you're also being healed. So it's really good skill and is what makes Templars Templars. We are using Toppling Charge. Let me tell you, I love having a gap closer on a Magicka character, especially coming from playing a lot of Mag DK. It is nice to have a gap closer outside of my ultimate. So this closes us to our target, dealing damage and stunning our enemies, also setting them off balance and interrupting them, obviously, if they were casting. Really good skill. Gives Templar a lot of great offensive mobility, can help you really stick to those targets, and is our primary stun. So absolutely amazing skill. I love running Elemental Drain. So Ele Drain gives you Major Breach for 5280 pen, and then Minor Magicka Seal, 600 effective Magicka recovery. I know some MagPlars don't personally run this, but I absolutely love it. It allows me to run way more damage on my gear because of the amount of Magicka restoration we get from this skill. And on top of that, getting Major Breach is just going to vastly increase the damage of our burst. So I think it's an amazing skill to have on Magicka Templar. We have Purifying Light. This is going to be our damage copying skill, so it deals about 4.4k initial damage and then copies all damage that the player takes for 6 seconds and releases 20% of it as additional magic damage. So this basically acts as our execute. I do not run Jesus Beam, so we are instead basically using this as our execute. And the cool part is that when this effect ends, a pool of sunlight remains attached to the enemy, healing you and nearby allies for 2,000 every 2 seconds for 6 seconds. So this is going to heal us after it pops. This is going to heal us while we're damaging into it. It's incredibly good. So basically what your goal combo is going to be is to throw up all of your debuffs, chuck up Purifying Light, hit our Crescent Sweep ultimate, and start going into that jab spam, and then eventually Purifying Light will pop, and your target will be dead. Now, speaking of our ultimate, we do have Crescent Sweep, deals 9.7k initial magic damage to all nearby enemies, an additional 4,000 every 2 seconds for 6 seconds, and enemies in your path will be hit for 60% more damage. This only costs 70 ultimate. It's just straight up damage. That's what we have this for. Just burst to damage. You chuck up your Ele Drain, you chuck up your Purifying Light, you stun them, you hit them with the Crescent Sweep, and you start going into that jab spam. It is a lot of pressure to put on your opponent very, very quickly. And the cool part is that the Crescent Sweep and the Puncturing Sweep are both AoE, so you're going to be able to deal a massive AoE burst with these two skills. Now, I run Inner Light on my front bar. I absolutely love Inner Light for this build. Getting the additional 7% maximum Magicka from our Mage's Guild passives, plus the Inner Light passive bonus, plus we get some extra Magicka recovery from the Mage's Guild passives. And I just love the Major Prophecy from this skill as well, getting that extra crit. I think Major Prophecy is an amazing thing to have on MagPlar. I know some people still do like to run the Dot. Personally, I do not. I think running Reflective Light or Vampire's Bane is actually pretty bad. The dots right now are just really a lot of times not worth using. Even though this does give us a dot on our opponents and a snare and the Major Prophecy, the way I see it is that you already get a good snare from jabs, and you can get Major Prophecy from a skill like Inner Light. Simply using Reflective Light, it just adds an extra global into your burst that isn't really going to do a lot. Like, if you look, it deals only 8,800 flame damage over 12 seconds. That's really bad. So what you're able, like, you'd have to basically chuck up Ele Drain, go Purifying Light, stun, and then you'd want to optimally Reflective Light before you hit that Crescent Sweep, because you'd want that Prophecy on. So it just adds an extra unnecessary global into your burst rotation, where you could just run something simply like Inner Light, which is not only going to make that burst rotation stronger because of the 7% additional maximum Magicka, but you'll have that Prophecy up at all times. So I just think it is a vastly superior skill, and that is why we're running it on our front bar. Back bar, we are running Degeneration for our source of major sorcery. I personally really like to have Tripods on my build, so it just really allows me to block super reliably. We already have Mist Form, which means that we don't have to kite with our stamina pool. We can kite with our Magicka pool. So also being able to run Tripods is going to make it so that I can block for 300 years. It's really, really nice. So having Degen is good just to give us that major sorcery. Plus, it does give us those Mage's Guild passives on that back bar. We are, of course, running Extended Ritual. This is our Purge and the build's primary hot. So you purify up to 5 harmful effects from yourself immediately, healing your allies for 2,200 every 2 seconds for 24 seconds. Really long dot. And allies in the area also get that Purify Synergy, cleansing all harmful effects from themselves and healing for 5,500. Really, really good skill to provide good group utility for your allies. We are running Honor of the Dead. This is our primary burst heal with about a 10.5k tooltip unbuffed. Healing anyone below 75% health restores 60% of the ability's cost over 6 seconds as Magicka. So if you're healing somebody who's low, which you will be with Honor of the Dead, you're not going to be casting Honor of the Dead if you're at 75% health. You will be getting the majority of the skills cost back, which is absolutely awesome. It's really, really good burst heal, and because of that secondary passive on it, it costs basically nothing. Channeled Focus is our armor buff. This is one of my favorite armor buffs in the whole game. It is just so effing good. 928 Magicka. It's cheap as dirt. It gives you 5280 spell and physical resist from that major resolve buff, which can be increased by up to 50% if you stand in the rune. And you get 480 effective Magicka recovery from this skill. So between Channeled Focus and Elemental Drain, you are getting 1080 effective Magicka recovery from 2 skills. It's so powerful. So powerful. So that is just amazing armor buff to have on the build. Elusive Mist. Elusive Mist, in my opinion, is a mandatory run for Magicka Templar. The reason is that MagPlar's primary weakness, at least in my opinion, is ranged opponents. We really don't have a lot of answers for ranged opponents. If you look at the skills and what we have access to, the most that we pretty much would have is something like Living Dark, so that, you know, anytime you get hit from direct damage, you're going to reduce your enemy's movement speed by 60% and heal yourself a little bit. But it's not anything super crazy, in my opinion. The skill could also get, as you can see, it's 3,700 Magicka, can get very expensive very quickly. So, and plus, I just don't have the room for it on my bar. My bars are personally pretty crammed. I could run something like Spell Power Pots and shove that on my back bar here, but I personally, again, prefer the tripods for the reasons I stated earlier. Getting that block mitigation is really, really good. And Elusive Mist is just, I think, one of those skills that when you really learn how to properly use it, it's so hard to play without it. It's just, it enables so much defensive mobility, and it allows you to kite out of your Magicka pool. You take so much less damage when you're actually inside the mist form, so you can kite to safely, and it gives us that movement that we need totally unimpeded, and allows us, like I said, to kite around that LOS when getting peppered by ranged targets. So we get around that corner, we heal ourselves back up, those ranged targets move towards us, we come out from that LOS, gap close to them, and go into our burst rotation. So Mist Form just gives Magicka Templar that defensive kite skill that it really desperately needs. I tried Race Against Time here, and I just felt that in Battlegrounds, when you're getting peppered by those mag sorks, peppered by those snipers, it just left me a little too vulnerable, and I used way too much of my stand pool in order to get away, and I really didn't like that. So I just think Elusive Mist is an amazing skill. Plus, the vampire passives give us extra recovery that we really, really want for better sustain. And we also get that undeath passive to combo really well with Pariah. So there really, in my opinion, is no reason to not be a vampire on Magicka Templar. Plus, you gain access to the dankest Devouring Swarm. Devouring Swarm is an amazing backbar ultimate for MagPlar. This gives us a really, really big AoE dot that combos really, really well with Grothdar and Jabs. So if you're going against a really big group and you want to pop out of like a choke point or something and go onto them, you will be dealing huge AoE pressure with Devouring Swarm, Grothdar, and Jabs. On top of that, you will also be healing yourself for almost the entirety of the damage that you deal between the heal from Devouring Swarm, the heal from Jabs. You're going to be dealing stupid amounts of AoE damage and healing yourself that entire time. So it makes a perfect backbar ultimate for MagPlar and really fills a void that it needs with that big AoE damage ultimate. Now, guys, taking a look at our resource pool, we have 39k maximum Magicka, 20.4k health outside of Cyrodiil, which translates to like the mid 26ks inside of Cyrodiil, 16.7k maximum stam, 1350 Magicka recovery, about 2300 spell damage, 39% spell crit. Unbuffed and, you know, with at max health, we have 20k spell resist and 16k physical resist with 3k crit resist. Those resists are going to go through the absolute roof between your rune buff as well as Pariah, so you are going to be well over cap, so that penetration will be literally irrelevant to you. We are using the Bewitched Sugar Skull buff food. Even though we're a vampire, this still gives the greatest benefit to maximum health, stamina, and Magicka. We are also a vampire for all the reasons that I stated, and we are using the Atronach Mundus Stone for some much-needed Magicka recovery. I did try the Apprentice Mundus with a Magicka recovery glyph for more spell damage, but I found that in no CP, my recovery was a little bit shoddy, so I decided again to move to 2 spell damage and 1 recovery, and use the Atro to get a little bit of extra boost to our Magicka recovery. By the way, just to mention, this build has been tested in both CP and no CP. You're going to see the I showed some Cyrodiil footage at the beginning of this video, and I'm going to show a Battleground at the end of the video. So it is usable in both CP and no CP very, very effectively. Moving into our champion points, guys, we have 23 points into Blessed, 56 into Elfborn, 64 into LE Expert, and 46 into Spell Erosion, with 81 into Master at Arms and nothing into Thaumaturge. Dots are not very good right now, so there's no point in even boosting them up. 61 into Ironclad, 51 into Resistant, 37 into Thick Skin, 49 into Hardy and LE Defender, and 23 into Quick Recovery, 2 into Sprinter, 56 into Warlord, 75 into Arcanist, 19 into Tenacity. I like to have some points into Tenacity because when I get those sword and board heavy attacks in, I like to be able to restore a little bit of extra stamina in order to make sure that I can block for as long as I want to. And then we also have 81 into Shadow Ward, again, to boost the hell out of that block mitigation, or, excuse me, to boost the heck out of the block cost reduction. And then we have 37 into Tumbling, just because I do like to roll dodge out of my mist forms a lot, so I do want to reduce that roll dodge cost. Now, guys, I've pretty much kind of gone over the whole rotation of the build earlier. It's pretty straightforward. Oh, also, in terms of potions, I recommend Tri-Stat Pots, like I said earlier, just gives us everything we need, health and Magicka restoration, and that stamina restoration is really key to be able to block for long periods of time. And in terms of race, guys, I personally recommend one of two races, either High Elf or Dark Elf. And the reason being is that those races will give you some of the biggest damage boosts that you can get. High Elf is what I personally am. You get 2,000 increased maximum Magicka and 258 spell damage. I think High Elf will be the bigger offensive option between the two, which is why I did go with the High Elf. But the reason that I like High Elf and Dark Elf is due to their passives to be able to augment stamina. You are going to get stamina restoration on High Elf from spell recharge, and you're going to get just a larger stamina pool from being a Dark Elf. And what this means is that you're able to block longer on that sword and shield bar. I cannot tell you how many times that I'll be tanking 4 or 5 people on the back. I just put my rune down, I just block, and just block cast Honor the Dead. And you are going to be taking such little damage while you block during that time. You're on your rune, which means your resistances are through the roof. Like on the rune, we are 31.7k spell resist and 27k physical resist, and that is without losing any health. That's at max HP. We also have the 5% from potentates. We could just sit here and block, just tank all that damage, do a purge if we need to, weave in the Honors of the Dead, squeeze in a heavy attack if we need more stam, go back to blocking. It's just really, really powerful having those extra stam passives. So again, High Elf or Dunmer, in my opinion. I wouldn't even recommend Breton or any other Magicka race. I just think having that stamina augmentation is just too good to pass up. In case I do get asked about my outfit, because I get asked about outfits a lot, this is just a little something I put together. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it yet, but I do kind of like it. I went for more of like a battle mage kind of cleric type style, but I really tried to go into like normal metal colors. It's Assassin's League helmet, Dwarven epaulettes, Dark Brotherhood gloves and shoes. We have High Elf girdle, Imperial cuirass, Daedric skirt, Akavirian mace, Minotaur shield, and Daedric staff. And our colors are a combination of Cold Harbor ash black, Volunteers iron, and Warrior steel. But guys, that is going to be it for my Magicka Templar PvP build. Let me tell you, MagPlar, I have not liked a class this much in a very long time. This rivals the amount of fun I have on my Mag DK. Class is a really, really good time. It is got great damage, good healing. It's tanky. You can brawl it out all while in light armor. It's just a really, really fun class, and I've been enjoying it an absolute ton. And if you guys like this video as well, I'd appreciate if you smacked a like on it. Any questions, go ahead and leave them below. And to keep up to date with the MMORPG content I put here on my YouTube channel, please hit that sub button as well as the bell to keep notifications on. Thank you all for stopping by. Very much appreciate it. As always, I'm Dottz Gaming, and I'll see you all in the next one. What's up, brother? Those filthy horkers, dude. Yeah, team? Team? Oh, no, no team. Okay. Got you with the heal, brother. Yeah, let's just go to the next fucking flag, bro. To the next flag. Wait, they're a little separated. I think we actually might be able to pick some of them off. Yo, Freeman, thank you so much for the follow, man. Appreciate it. AD now. What faction is the worst in the campaigns that always loses because no one plays them? Yeah, AD. AD is definitely the least popular of the three. Kite this guy out. So it's a big old heal. Oh, a red boy. I'll wait for him to come around this side. Look at that fucking Stam Crow healing, brother. Goodbye, buddy. Goodbye, buddy. Oh, good night. Holy shit, dude. A big ol' burst. Big ol' burst. Any idea why AD is the least popular? I don't know. It's a combination of things. I think what Sam said is a big part of it. I feel like AD's got a lot of stereotypes, I think, associated with it. So a lot of times people don't necessarily want to play the faction for those reasons. No. Fake this out. Good. Heal up. Let those guys go. We'll flip this flags. Watch, we're gonna fucking dick on this guy. You ready? Scat. You are dead, son. Yeah, I don't know why people ended up... It's the factions have changed over time. You know, it's like, what is the most popular faction and what's the least popular faction at any given time? It changes and it's very fluid, just kind of based on what people are doing at any given time. But I think AD, they have a lot of, like, stereotypes associated with them. So people just tend to not want to play the faction. Oh, no. I got fucking stunned. I didn't realize that's permafrost. No, it was Northern Storm. Then what stunned me? Maybe it was an Arctic Blast, but it didn't even show up on my fucking recap. Huh. That was weird. That twas weird. This guy's dead. Scout boy. Sustain definitely feels much better now, dude. Very, very happy with where this landed. Very, very happy with how Sustain feels right now. One thing I will say though that I've noticed about MagPlar pretty immediately, definitely struggles with range targets quite a lot. Those filthy horkers, dude. How dare those filthy horkers. Especially bows. Yeah, I was one of the quickest things I've noticed from playing this class is they definitely struggle quite a lot with range. I think that's why I've seen Mist Form has just become such a valuable asset. I think even more so than Race Against Time, because you're able to actually kite out, you know, behind a wall or something. Those bow users. I thought there was a guy there. I guess not. So you don't have to aim anymore. What are we talking about? EU or NA? We're talking about NA. At least I am. I do wonder if it's part of people associating AD with Skyrim. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me. Was using Outcast build for MagPlar. Don't really like it. Well, I could show you what I'm using. Show you what I'm using in a hot second. All right, so I'm actually gonna go for this purple guy here. Skip. Goodbye, friend. All right, I think this guy is the higher priority for killing. Goodbye. There she blows, boys! There she blows. Yeah. Nice-oo. I'm actually digging the fashion I got going on, dude. The battle mage type fashion. Got to check that Albion online last night. It's basically old school RuneScape. Oh, interesting. Oh god, this is the entire purple team. And I don't have bats. If I had bats, I might be able to do this, but... Oh, actually, no. This guy's separated from the rest of the pack. Yeah! Let's go! Sit down, brother! Where are you going? Oh, it's good shit, dude. Sit down, brother. I'll go over the full build after this because this feels good. I made a couple changes to it before today, and they're feeling mighty spicy. This dude just heard me say that this class struggles against range. This guy's also just spamming light attacks, so not really thinking too hard. Dottz found the tiny bit of joy left of PvP. Yeah, pretty much. The last bit of joy. All right, here we go, boys. Purge that shit off. Get my major sorcery up. Goodbye. No, what's he seeing me? There we go. We out of here, dude. We just went in, fucking bursted that dude and was like, I'm out. Yeah, I'm gonna make the builds for this. I'm gonna make it next week and release the following week. So if you want early access to the video, I'll have that available for patrons and YouTube members, but I'm gonna probably do a written guide for it regardless, though, next week. I'm gonna go over the full build in a second, guys. I'm gonna go over the full build for you all in a hot second. Then we're gonna go do some Cyrodiil testing. Oh, I don't think I had my major sorcery up that entire fucking time. Going full plebeian mode. Carlos, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. We also need to, we also don't even have the right front bar staff enchant, or, trait, excuse me. So once we get that, our damage will be even higher. Switching Elusive Mist with Harness Magicka a viable change? I think no. I think Elusive Mist is a mandatory skill for this build. I tried this build without Elusive Mist. It feels considerably worse. Normally, on most classes, I tell people, like, yeah, you can either run Race Against Time or Mist Form, depending on your preferences. But I think for Magicka Templar, I think Mist Form is by far and away the superior choice. Because the class has no ranged defense, okay? If you use Race Against Time to try to get around a corner, the entire time you're trying to kite that individual out, you are just getting peppered with damage the entire time, and there's nothing you can do to stop it, okay? But then if you use something like Mist Form, you will be taking 75% less damage from that person while you are kiting. You're able to kite to safety and then try to pull them around a corner. What are my graphic settings for PvP? I just run them on high. Heavy or light? Light. I haven't run heavy Magicka in a very long time. I don't think it's very good anymore. Light is just, it's just too strong. It's just, the passives from light armor are so good. Oh, actually, this homebrew over here is trying to snooperino me. Bye, friend. Fucking love it, bro. This is like build video worthy, I think. I think it's a very solid game. Ah! Where you going, bud? Where you going, bud? Gave that guy the fucking beans, brother. I could have sworn I saw someone there, dude. 21, 1 and 13, 956k damage, dude. You love to see it. GG.